Okay, these are our density notes. Density is the measure of mass of a material in a given volume. So to calculate density, there is an equation. The equation is mass, which we measure in grams, divided by volume. And volume is measured in milliliter for liquids and centimeters cubed for solids. When you calculate density, the units from the mass and the volume get combined. So for a liquid, it would be grams per milliliter. That would be for a liquid. And for a solid, it would be grams per centimeter cubed. Okay, let's practice calculating here. Volume. We have an object, and its volume is 5 centimeters cubed, and its mass is 20 grams. Okay, remembering the equation for density is mass divided by volume. I'm going to plug in the values. 20 was for mass, 5 was for volume. 20 divided by 5 equals 4. To combine the units, take the units from the mass and the units from the volume, and you get grams per centimeters cubed. So the density of this object is 4 grams per centimeter cubed. Now we can use this to help us know if an object would sink or float in water, which is why this is relevant to your boats. Because that's exactly what we need to know. The density of water is 1 gram per milliliter. That is a constant that never changes, so you want to make sure you know that. Because if an object has a greater density than 1 gram per milliliter, it will sink. If the object is less density, it will float on the water. So let's calculate some densities. We have the nylon block. Okay. First, we need to find the mass. To find the mass, we're going to turn over to the scale here. And it is 18 grams. Okay, so I recorded that on my table. Now the volume, remember this is a rectangular prism, so I'm going to take length times width times height. Volume is, or the length is 2.5, the width is 2.5, and the height is 2.5. So 2.5 times 2.5 times 2.5 gives me, let's look in our calculator here, because we're allowed to use them. So it's a good idea. 2.5 times 2.5 times 2.5 gives us 15.625 for our volume. Okay, remember calculating density is mass divided by volume. So going back to our calculator, our mass was 18, and we're going to divide it by 15.625. And we get our density of 1.152. grams per centimeter cubed. Okay? Now we're going to look at a different cube. This is a poplar block. So going over to the scale, we get 9.1 grams. Oh, just changed to 9.2. Okay? Our cube is the same size as the other one. We'll just double check. 2.5, 2.5, and 2.5. So that means our volume is going to be 15.625. Okay, just like the other one. Okay, so now to calculate the density, I'm going to take the volume or the mass, 9.2, and divide it by 15.625. That gives me 0.5888 grams per centimeter cubed. All right, so now it's time to predict. Based on my density, the nylon block is 1.152. If it is greater than 1, it will sink. So, the nylon block will sink. Okay? Looking at the poplar block, the density is 0.5888. If the density is less than 1, it will float. So this one will float. All right, now it's time to test. The nylon block sank to the bottom. That was our prediction. Poplar block floats on top. That was our prediction. So density helps you know if it's going to sink or float. Can also be useful in other ways.